Well, good day, Michael here, coming to you live from my backyard. And today there's a couple of things I want to do. This is the spoon I carved with this knife, so I just thought I'd show the finished product. Not perfect. And it's been sandpapered a little bit just to make it smooth. And so there's the finished product. And that was carved pretty much all with this knife. I scooped a little bit out using a scooping carving tool, but most of it was hacked out of a big piece like this. With this same knife I've been skinning fish and all sorts of things, kangaroo. So it's been quite a versatile knife so far and I've quite enjoyed using it. But today we're going to put that aside because the video isn't about spoons or that generic knife. It's about these two knives. And I've got a slight cheat here because this is a Ganzo sheath and this is the garbage sheath that it came with, and it doesn't retain and it's cheap and it's just does the job, but it's pretty useless. So the Ganzo knife has a different sheath, so I thought I'll put this in and it just has enough retention. It doesn't click in or anything, but it holds just enough. So that's a working case for it. So it's the battle of the budget knives here. Oh, I've got my paper. I have to go and get that. Battle of the budget knives. And so we have, this is Bacho, but it's the same, it comes out of the same factory as Mora. It's a Mora knife. It's just labelled Bacho, but it's the same sort of thing. So I've almost got back to the original Scandi on this. I didn't want to go that far, but it's pretty close to it. And it's a true Scandi. I'll put a true Scandi back on it instead of a secondary grind. Yes, the Mora fanboys will say Bacho is not the same as a Mora, but it is. As far as my research has shown, it is the same as a Mora, but anyway, it's very, very, very similar to everything. And the reason why they rave about these knives, they're not even all that cheap anymore in Australia. I mean, it's like $50 or more now. And this one was $11 plus postage, so it came well under $20. So we've got the HX Outdoors in 5CR 15, and it's the D286AL, so it's got a rubberized grip which feels pretty good. It's full tang goodness there, and the grip feels pretty good, and it probably will last quite a long time. This one feels, no, it's got a rubbery, it actually doesn't feel too bad, but that's really cheap plastic, so that just cheapens it. But the actual grip's not too bad on it, but not as good as that grip. So I think this one wins on the grip, but I wouldn't know until I was like processing animals and whatnot. I forgot to bring my paper across, but what I want to do today is a cut test to show these Scandi Mora knives in Sandvik steel 12C27N, I think it is, against the 5CR. So they're pretty similar steels really in the amount of carbon that they have. Christian will be able to correct me on that, but I think they're fairly similar in performance. So I'm just going to go get my paper and come right back. Right, so I just get my paper organised here. With the cut tests, I did a test the other day with a 704 gear D2 knife, and it got 130 cuts of this rope, which is a nylon kind of rope. Petrified fish beluga got around 100 cuts, and this knife, which is a generic, it's probably 5 CR as well, maybe 8 CR, it got 50 cuts, possibly 8 CR on that one. Just to give you an idea of the sort of benchmarks, Ganzo got 70 440C. So sharp enough for the test. As you can see, this one's the factory edge. Yeah, not the best, but should be all right for the test. Okay. So let's start off with our Mora friend and see how many cuts we 10, and then I will test it and see if this knife is the Mora Killer. Here we go. Cutting through that pretty easy at the moment. Beautiful winter's day out here today, so it's good to be out in the sunshine, mucking about with this. 10 cuts, and let's see how we go, Mr. Mora. Oh, I can feel a bit of wear, but it's slicing. So Mora makes 10 cuts. Yay! It's not the worst knife I've got. Let's do another 10. What was that knife I did the other day and only got 10 cuts? I think that's 6. There's 10. I better write this down somewhere. Mora 20. Maybe the fanboys will be right. Maybe it's going to kill it today. So it's slicing fine. The edge may be a bit. Yeah, no, it's catching right there. So you can see where it's catching along that edge, I think. We're pretty cactus. I can see glittering on 20. Now this is the stainless steel version. Granted, the carbon version, I forgot to bring my bin out, will work a lot longer. Edge retention will be a lot better, but the problem is the Scandi grind on these. This is probably 15 degrees and it probably came out factory at 12 degrees. Not quite there at the factory, maybe 14 degrees I've got it, and the factory's 12 or something, and a couple of degrees out. It's almost, yeah, okay. Should I be kind? I'll give it 5 more. It's kind of cutting because of how slicey it is. I think I was 1 short before, so I did 1 extra. Should bring it to 25. Okay, cutting through that. 25. Didn't think I'd get this far. I've done 10 more, so that'll make it 35. I'm out of whack now. It's definitely worn. Definitely windy out here now. I'll go another 5. It's kind of slicing through still. This will bring it to 40. That's 5. Bring it to 40. The fanboys should be happy with that. It really is not liking that, but it's just getting through it on 40. Okay, let's see if we can get up to 50. Let's see. Definitely getting harder to cut. Well, that'll be 50. I'm surprised at that. And that's his. Yeah. That's it. fact, I'm going to give it 45 because that's so bad now. So we'll give Mora 45, and I think that's been generous. Yeah, it's definitely had it. So, Mora, generous being 45, it's probably more like 40. Righto, Mr. HX Outdoor, are you going to be a Mora Killer? I don't think so. That has actually surprised me, that result. I didn't think it'd get anywhere near that. I thought 10 cuts and it would be done. So let's go. HX Outdoors. Is this the budget knife for all time's sake? We'll find out. Feels good. Right, that was harder to cut, and this is the factory edge, so it really needs another 4 sharpenings to be fair to it. If I've burnt the edge, it reduces the hardness. It can make a big difference. Obviously 10 cuts is good, but it was quite a lot harder to get through those 10 cuts, I have to say. It's all about the working edge though. It's 20. And it's showing where, like the Mora was, but it got through. And I'd say the edge is about 20 degrees at a rough guess. It's not the best edge in the world. And you can see where it's showing some wear there. I'm not seeing too much in the way of glitter, a little bit up towards tip there. So that's 20. Let's see if we can get to 30. Yeah. In cutting performance, this knife kills it. to say. So if I'm going to take two knives, if I'm going to take one knife out on the field, I'll take this one all day long. But that's not the debate. The debate is this a Mora Killer? And part of the argument with this is that this knife is a flat grind, so it's more versatile to work on food and other things like that, where the Moras are good on wood, as you know, and not so good on other things. But you'll get by with it. This is sturdy, I think. Yeah, so that's had it. Had it 30. That is, had it just one more, just to prove. And yeah, it's gone. So 5CR, good for about 30 cuts. Totally gone. Mora, probably because the edge angle and it held up. Still feels sharp actually, but you can see glitter all over it. And it's probably still going to perform well on wood. So it's still cutting deep enough. That's still slicing well. And the HX Outdoor, no. Doesn't even compare. It does not compare. Ha! So there you have it. HX Outdoor, couldn't even put it, not digging in, not liking the wood at all, but I do want to put a few edges on it first, maybe have a rematch down the track. But I'd have to say, for the fanboys, the Mora is the winner. So there you have it. Mora on top for this test and on top for today. I can't believe it. I thought this knife was going to defeat it, and it hasn't, Christian. So your beautiful HX Outdoor knife has been beaten by the Bacho Mora knife. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.